Saturday. It's 1 week into the challenge, and as you can see, I'm in the car in sunny Lausanne. Well, no, I'm in where am I now? Doesn't matter. I'm on my way to pick up my wife. My wife is doing a homeopathic course. I'm going to cut all this out when I edit the video. So hello and welcome. It's Saturday the 3rd of May, 1 week into the 70-day 10-week challenge. Gary Gedall, psychologist, psychotherapist, and so where are we up to? So this week has been quite a tough week. After the 6 weeks of after the 6 weeks off, I've gained 13 pounds, which was quite shocking, and so I decided that I needed to lose that. So I've done a 3-day water fast, and I lost most of it quite quickly, which was great. Positive hello there. And I also, this morning, I went to my gym. I have a special gym that I go to once a week. Then we have electrodes that go on the body, and the training that we do is supposed to be much more efficient. And also this morning I also had a control, a checkup, to see how I was doing and how the changes in my body from the last times I had a checkup in January, a checkup in March, and then a checkup today to see where I was at. Now in January I was at about 220 pounds, and that was also much too much fat, but also quite a lot of muscle. And then by March I'd lost 17 pounds, but not all of it was fat. There was also quite a lot of muscle that I'd lost, which is quite shocking and surprising, since I've been going to the gym like almost every single day, and I didn't understand it. And they said, well, when you lose fat you also lose muscle. And then this morning I also had another control. I'm going to see what it says here. Just looking on my phone. It's here somewhere. And so what I've had today is that yes, I've gained more weight. I'm 7 pounds too much, as far as this machine tells me from my weight. 7 pounds too much. And I'm also 12, 13, nearly 14 pounds positive as far as muscle is concerned, but I've lost muscle. So I had a long conversation with the guy there, and at the end of the day what I realized is I'm not eating enough protein. So if you are just losing weight, if you're on a calorie restricted diet, or you're intermittent fasting, or you're doing water fasting, and your only goal is to lose weight, then it doesn't really matter what you eat. It's better to, as I say, intermittent fasting, water fasting, keto, meat, protein diet, whatever it's called, a carnivore diet. These things are okay if your main thing is to lose weight. But if your thing is to get fit and to get muscle, then the water fasting, intermediate fasting can be not good for that, because you can also lose muscle. Keto diet can be more positive, because I think it's got better protein, weight. Someone's telling me that they hear a lot of noise. I think I need to close the windows. 1 second. I'm just going to close the windows. Switch the music off. I hope that's better. Howard, hello. So keto diet and carnivore diet, as they're much more balanced with protein, better with protein. If you want to lose weight and get fit, then you need to go towards that. And what he has told me is that I've not been having enough protein. So that's something that I'm going to change in my diet now. I'm going to add quite a lot more protein because I go to the gym on a very regular basis, and so if I'm going to lose weight and gain muscle, then that's something that I really have to do. So that's something that's going to go into my new system. So now what I would like to talk to you about is the value of words. Thank you. Much better. The value of words. We had a training in group practice on Thursday in a training, an internal training, not in a training, internal training. We have a transcultural group practice. I am the psychotherapist. I'm responsible for 4 psychologists. We also have a psychiatrist who is responsible for her doctor assistant. So we have 2 sort of structures that are joined together, and the doctor assistant, he gave a training today on Thursday morning, and a lot of it's to do with words. And so he showed us a trial that they did, a test that they did, in which they actually took some vials of water and said things to them. You know, they were talking to the water. I'm not the most crazy person in the world. And what they found is if they take they crystallized the water, presumably froze it, and they looked at the cells of the water, what they actually found out, they had this beautiful pattern like snowflakes. And when you said something unpleasant to the water, and then they had this awful mess, which was unpleasant. And then they tried it even with actually sticking the words. I know it sounds totally stupid and so weird, but sticking the words to the fails, and then watching them, and there was also the same sort of reaction. So there is some sort of energy with words, with thoughts, and people say that talking to plants, you talk to the plants react, the plants do well. Obviously, you talk to animals, you talk to people. So it's not just the actual words. It's what's behind the words. What are you feeling? What is your energy? And that changes an awful lot. And we have to also be aware that the links between the mind, the body, the emotions, our motivation, our energy, it's all linked. When we have people that are depressed, they are lacking in serotonin. Can't even say it properly. Yeah, they are lacking in a hormone. And what is strange that you give them medications, antidepressants, that's uptake inhibitors and other things like that to try and compensate for something that is lacking, that's not being produced in the brain. However, when people start being depressed, then it rebalances itself. And if you take, for instance, someone that is scared, fear. Now, the fear reaction, people say to themselves, this is dangerous. There's an inner dialogue. And if someone talks to you and says, hey, this is dangerous, then you get, to some degree, all those same reactions. And the reactions are that you have the idea of fear. You have the heart that starts to beat faster. You have the breathing, which is shallower and faster. You have cortisol. You have adrenaline, noradrenaline. You have all sorts of things that happen. Your stomach stops functioning. Things that start to happen when fear comes in. And it's a group. It's all together. And what is very, very interesting is that when you actually take another one of those elements, because like imagine you have 4 or 5 people that are all attached with a rope or with a string, they're all attached together. And if you push them in one direction, you take one person that goes in one direction, the idea, thought, words, this is dangerous, fear, the mind will pull all the other parts of the whole person, the heart, the lungs, or the neurotransmitters, everything in the direction of fight and flight. It all goes in that direction. But what is very interesting is that if somebody has a physiological problem with their heart, and they have something that's called tachycardia, where the heart starts to beat faster because there's something that is regulated in the heart, what happens is the people have the emotion of fear. They feel fear. They think there's something dangerous happening. The heart is beating faster, but also the lungs start to react. You breathe faster and shallower, and you get all the other reactions of fear that happen because the heart has started to go faster. And it's like all the rest of them say, hey, look, the heart's going faster, that must be dangerous, so let's go into danger mode. What is really, really interesting is that if someone in that mode starts to breathe slowly and consciously, then all the other things settle down again. When you take your 4, 5, 6 elements and you pull one in the other direction, things go in that direction. Now, if you take this whole group of the body, the mind, the emotions, and the soul, you take that all together and say, these are linked. These are all links. And when you say to someone, you're not going to be able to do this, you're a failure, this is not going to happen, this is not going to succeed, then that creates another chain of negative effect. And that negative effect is something that unfortunately many of us have experienced so often in our lives. And even if we have a part of ourselves, one of this group, if you like, that says, I can do this, it's going to be fine. I want to lose weight, I want to reduce cigarettes, I want to do this, I want to write a book, I want to go forward. Even if we've got one part of ourselves which is being positive, if all the other parts of our history and the bits that look outwards and interact with the real world, if all these parts are negative, sooner or later they'll drag the positive parts of yourself back into losing confidence, being unsure. And the first bit of failure or real difficulty is like, oh, I can't do this, I'm going to fail again, it's not worth trying, I've failed, it's not worked. And this is what we need to work against. We need to work against this. If you can find, and not everybody can, if you can find people around you that can support you, that can give you positive energy, a positive way of looking at things, then that's great. And if you can't, you got me. Because I believe in you. I believe the fact that you are watching this, that you're part of this process, that you can do it. As long as what you plan to do is reasonable. Now, I was talking to the French lot just before, and what I was saying is that I don't believe that much in affirmations. I don't believe in affirmations because I've tried them, they've not worked. And I thought, screw this doesn't work. Affirmations don't work. And then after a while, I've started to realize why affirmations don't work. Affirmations don't work if you're not prepared for them. And the image that I give is that you have grains or seeds. That's the affirmations. And they say, do a lot of affirmations. So have a lot of seeds, throw them around, throw them everywhere. The problem with seeds is if you throw them on concrete or you throw them on hard soil, they're not going to go in, they're not going to seed, they're not going to sprout, they're not going to grow. You need to have a territory, you need to have the ground which is prepared. You need to say there's a possibility that this can happen. Unless you actually believe in the possibility, unless you break that earth of it can't happen, it's no good, unless you give yourself some positive idea that it can work, then these affirmations will never go anywhere. You can't say, for instance, I wish to be in 8 weeks a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. You know, this idea, these affirmations, these images, you know, put on your fridge a check for $1 million. Put on your fridge this huge mansion. Put on the fridge this beautiful model girl or guy that you're going to attract. It's like, no, that's too much. It's too far. Most of us cannot dream that big. It's like you've got a balloon. And you say, oh, I want this balloon to be as big as possible. So you're going to blow it and blow it and blow it and blow it. And blowing up the balloon is like blowing up your dream. And the more you blow, the bigger it gets. It's great, it's great, it's great. And you keep blowing, it's going to pop. Your balloon will pop. Your dream will pop because it's too big. You can't hold it. The rubber in the balloon gets too thin. If you want to dream, yes, dream big, but dream within the confines of what is reasonable for you in this moment. You can't, I mean, I dream, my high dream Now, I'm 68 years old. I live in Switzerland and I have a pension which is miserable. There's no way I can survive on that. So my high dream is to have enough passive income to be able to retire very comfortably. That's my high dream. But my high dream is not now. My high dream is in 7 years. That's the time I give myself, because it's a reasonable time. You give yourself enough time, enough space, enough resources, then you can have a big dream. But if you're talking about a limited time scale, then your dream needs to fit into that time scale. You're not going to be a millionaire in a year unless you have something magnificent to start off with. I mean, if you've already got 500 grand, and you think, oh, in a year I can double my 500 grand. Well, that's feasible if you can find good things to invest in and you can move your money. It's feasible. But if you don't have that sort of money to begin with, or you don't have the most earth-shattering new invention or product or a new system, it's not realistic. And so if you say, I can do this, and part of you knows it's not possible, it's not realistic, then it's not worth to even to try. It's not worth to try, because you are going to fail. And there are some people who think that the only way they can dream is to dream in the extreme, that they've read these things, they've seen these people, they've been to these talks, put this check on your fridge, put this beautiful car, put this house, put all these things there, and you will create them. They will come to you. It's rubbish. It's rubbish because it's too much. We know it's not realistic. We know it can't happen. So don't bother to dream so big. Don't try and blow your balloon up so big it will pop. It will not hold. It's not it's not what I call realistic optimism. Realistic optimism says, I believe it's possible to do this with the means that I've got in the timescale I'm giving myself. That is so important. It can be a high dream. It could be a real challenge. It could be very difficult, but it's got to be within the realms of your reality of today. You need to say, today I believe I can do this. If all goes well, if the best possible of worlds happen, if everything is great, I can achieve this. And maybe you can, maybe you will, and maybe you won't get there quite as much, quite as fast, or quite as far as you have dreamt. But at least if you stay realistic, you stay your feet on the ground and say, this is something that's possible. I've recorded a video of the secret of my successes. The secret of my successes, because I have been, and I am, fairly successful. The fact that I don't have money to retire is not to do with a failure. It's just to do with the way that my life has functioned, and the cost of living in Switzerland and buying a house and having an expensive car and things like that, and having lots of kids. I'm just not being able to save as much money as I would like. It doesn't matter. I have lived well. I am living well, and I have successes. And my secret of my successes has always been dream. Dreaming is so wonderful. I would like to do this. I would like this. This is an opportunity. This is possible. This could be interesting. And you take the dream and then you question it. Of course you question it. Is it realistic? Is it possible? Is it doable? If everything goes well, is it doable? And if the answer is yes, it is doable, then the next thing is, what strategies do I have to put into place? What do I need to make it work? Because maybe you have the means. Maybe you still have to go and find the means. Maybe you have to make the tools to make a house. Who knows what you need? But after you say, is it doable? Yes, I can be realistically optimistic. It's doable. Whatever it is that you have, that you're thinking of now, whatever reason that you are watching this video, I believe you can do it. I believe you can do it. You need to focus on it. You need to really plan how you're going to do it. You need to make a realistic, practical strategy to do it. And then it takes work. It takes effort. It takes sacrifice. You have to really, really invest. When I decided I would do this 70-day challenge, and I would do a video live 6 days a week, I didn't realize just how difficult it would be to work more or less full time, because I do, to go to the gym 4, 5, 6 days a week, because that's part of my personal challenge. Sometimes to fast, water fast, not to eat anything at all during the day. And then to organize on top of all that. And I have kids that I see from time to time, not as often as maybe they would like or I would like, but I see them quite a lot. So my kids, and then 1 hour every day, I'm doing a live broadcast, and that live broadcast takes preparation. I have to think, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? I did expect, you see, this is where you have to manipulate and be able to move your strategies. I expected this to be interactive. I expected people to be able, I don't know what's happening, if you have been left some message on a chat and it's just not showing, or you just don't think to. I mean, it would be really nice if people would just write one word, like saying hi, or I'm feeling positive, I'm feeling negative, I'm feeling relaxed, I'm feeling stressed. It would be nice if someone would write things down, but at the moment I'm not seeing anything on the chats. So it's not interactive, and I would have liked it to be interactive. And I planned I would have half an hour in French and half an hour in English every night. The people would write to me. They'd say, I'm doing this. I can say, look, Bobby's doing that. Bobby's here, and this is that, and they're having this difficulty. Maybe I can help solve this problem. And it all was going to be interactive, based on you giving me material to talk about. It's not happened. It doesn't matter. Well, I had to change my strategy. My strategy is now I have a theme, I have a concept, I have something that I wish to talk about. Sometimes I go off on a tangent. It doesn't matter, as long as I hope it's interesting for you. And we just keep going. But it's a lot of work on a very daily basis to think that I need to be keeping up with this and everything else in my life for 70 days is a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge, but I know I can do it. I know it's possible. I know it's doable. It'll take a lot of effort, take a lot of discipline, but that is how you succeed. You succeed through work. Dream. Dream the dream. Is it reasonable? If it's reasonable, what strategies do I need to put into place? What people might I need help with? What do I have to learn? What do I have to do? And then do the work. Have the discipline. Keep going. And then success is 90% guaranteed. 90% guaranteed. Yes, there are elements that we cannot ever control. There are things that happen that are not what we planned and not what we thought and not what we can do. And then maybe the whole thing will fall to pieces, or maybe just you will not succeed as much as you planned. It doesn't matter, because already by starting, by being in the game, you have won. You have won something. You have proven something. You have proven that you can get started. Because there are so many people with so many desires and dreams and wishes, and I would like to do this and I'll stop that and whatever it is, and they never ever get started. That is the biggest failure. The biggest failure is not starting. There is no failure bigger than that. It doesn't matter if you've done one day and it doesn't work. That's one day you've started. Now we're in 1 week. I don't know how many of you have started a week. It doesn't matter. If you're starting today, it's already good. You know, we've got plenty of time. But once you've started, once you are on the path, you can only advance. And whatever advance you succeed to make, whatever distance you succeed to cover, that is success. And if the success is only relatively partial, it does not matter. It means that you are capable to go forward. You're capable to dream of doing something and succeeding even partially. And what is great or awful, I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but this is not the only 70-day challenge this year. The 70-day challenge finishes on July, I think it's the 5th, something like that. And the 20 something, I'm not sure what, of September, we're going to start again. So it doesn't matter how far you get to with this 70-day challenge. I really hope and expect that you will succeed to do what you've planned to do. That's really important, that you succeed to do what you plan to do. But if you don't succeed, if you've only got partial success, you can say to yourself, hey, I've started, I've made efforts, I've made sacrifices, I've been disciplined, and I've advanced so far. When I did the 70-day challenge in January, I wanted to lose weight and to get fit. And at the end of the day, I had lost weight. I was much fitter, but I still wasn't anywhere near the shape or the form that I wished to be. Hello. The OD has said hello. I'm very glad you've said that. At least it shows that somebody's actually writing something. So what is important is that we start, we dream, we decide what we're going to do, we decide how we're going to do it, who we're going to need to do it with, and then we go forward and we work. And then wherever we get to, then we say, okay, what have I learned? What I have learned today, is the reason why I'm not more muscular, that I'm actually losing muscle, is I'm not eating enough protein. So I've spent 10 weeks, I've done a 70-day challenge, I have fasted, I have been careful what I've eaten, I have suffered for that because I love to eat, and to not eat and to limit myself has been a huge discipline, and it's been tough, but I've done it because I'm motivated. And what has happened at the end is that I've lost weight and I've lost muscle, and I've been going to the gym like almost every day. And that was very, very frustrating. I didn't understand why. When a lot of different experts tried to discuss with me why, and it was like, oh, well, you lose weight, you lose fat, you also lose muscle that's linked to the fat. And nobody thought to mention at that point that, are you having enough protein? And yet today I had another control, and the guy said, hey, your weight's gone up a lot, but your muscle's also gone up. I thought, this is odd. You know, it's 5 weeks, so it's not negative, but what has happened? What has changed? I said, well, I've been eating more. He says, well, of course you need to eat, because if you don't eat enough protein, how can you build your muscles? If you don't eat enough protein, actually, you could end up getting fatter if you're exercising, which I thought was very weird as an idea. So I got it wrong. I spent 10 weeks with a huge effort, and I had quite a good partial success, but nowhere near as much success as I could have had, because I didn't know something. And as I say, I am a psychologist, I'm a psychotherapist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a fitness coach. I pick up things left and right. I share with you what I pick up, and I hope it's useful for you. But at the end of the day, I'm also learning. I'm also making mistakes. I'm also making errors. I'm also learning new recipes that I'm going to try, and things advance. And you are on a path, and you will make mistakes, because we all make mistakes. We all get something wrong, or something doesn't happen the way we planned it, and we have to change course, and we have to add something, we have to subtract something. And sometimes, like me, I say, well, that's 10 weeks that I've been stupid, because I have planned a diet based on my own intuition and my own ideas, which is the way I usually function, and I missed out an important element. So now we're on a new 10 weeks. I've been 1 week into it because I wasn't able to do this control last week. People weren't there. And I've learned something. I've learned something incredibly important. I've been looking at many things on the internet about fasting and water fasting and keto and all these other things that none of them has said. And this has been, everybody has their own reality. And nobody has said, hey, you need to be sure to have enough protein, because if you're exercising, then if you don't have enough protein, you're going to have problems. It's going to be counterproductive. No one has said that. In everything to do with fasting, partial fasting, intermittent fasting, water fasting, all these other sort of systems, they have not said, if you are training, you need protein. When he said it this morning, I thought, oh, that's not so stupid, is it? So we're going to make mistakes. We're going to try this, it's going to work, we're going to try that, it's not going to work. Maybe someone will say, hey, have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? Is this going to work? All that is important is we keep going. We keep faith. We keep faith with ourselves. And that is the most important thing. I can do this. And going back to what I said at the beginning about words have value. Yes, it's important if you want to write affirmations, but affirm things that are reasonable. If you want to affirm, I've got this, I can do this, I can cope, I can manage, I will find solutions, things quite general. Or I will lose 5 pounds. I will reduce my need for insulin, whatever. But make sure, if possible, it's quantifiable, and be very, very, very reasonable with yourself. Do not aim too high. And I know that sounds counterproductive to try a small dream, don't go too far, but don't try too much. Don't go too far. Don't go out. I mean, I have a video that I will put up, or I will talk about, and then I'll put up the visuals at another time. I'll add to it. One of the things that's quite interesting in this process as I'm learning, because this is a huge learning curve for me. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I know it's important to do it. And hopefully, sooner or later, I'll get it right. And one of the things that I'm learning is that these live broadcasts, I have a number of people that watch it. They come, they go, they come, they go, some stay. And it's a bit, at the moment, I don't have enough people to make it feel positive for me. But I also know that these are registered. They're recorded. So I can go then back to them, and I can download them, I can re-edit them, and I can add things to them. So this can be the basis for other a richer, more complete. I mean, I don't have the technology. I don't have the time to learn the technology. I have no real interest to make these live broadcasts much more complicated than they are already. The videos that I make on the side of that take me forever to edit, because I had pictures, I had this, I had that, other. So I'm not going to go that route, because I'm never gonna get out of it. But what I have realized is that I can take this down, I can edit it, I can remove that. I had about a few minutes at the beginning, which was quite boring, and I can add things. I can add the stuff from my fitness coach, so you can see visually January and March, and now you can have a look at all those three. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about them as well as that, and we can go forward with that. So even the idea that I'm not speaking to, I mean, at the moment there are 7 people watching, it's totally miserable, and yet it doesn't matter, because I'm in a process. This process, I mean, there was a part of me that said, oh, there's only 1 or 2 people watching, is it worth doing? And then that's the failure, that's the give up bit. And then there's another bit that says, of course it's worth doing. This is a process. This is a snowball. And at some point the snowball will take. At some point these live broadcasts will have hundreds of people. I did one on Wednesday. There were 600 people that came all together. I have no idea how or why there were 600 people. There were 600 people on Wednesday night. Strange, but there was. I know that it increases my the number of videos that I have in stock. They are often things of interest and importance that I talk about. I can take them down, I can make them a bit prettier, I can add images and things like that, and it motivates me. I find ways to motivate myself. And I am here to help you motivate yourself. I'm here to give you motivation. I can give you support. I am here for you. If you need anything that I can give, write to me. Write to me and I will try and respond. And if I don't respond in written, I will respond on YouTube. I'll respond on a live. I will respond. It is important that you realize that my desire is to help as many people as possible. I've helped maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people or 2,000 families, in my 25 years as being a psychologist and psychotherapist. It's not enough. It's not enough. I'm frustrated. I want more. I want to help more people. That's why this is free. And I remind you, this is 100% free. I'm not getting anything from this at the moment. Maybe at some point in the future, I'll find ways. I'll write a journal, I'll write a book, I'll do things. I'll create an app, I'll find sponsors in the future. But this 70-day challenge, I will be guaranteed to earn nothing from it. However, if I help 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 people improve the quality of their lives thanks to doing this, then already it's a success. Because my level of success for doing the 70 challenge, I have my own personal challenge, of course, weight and fitness, and also eating black dark chocolate as opposed to milk chocolates, for small detail like that. That's my personal challenge. But my challenge in a larger way is to find an audience, and to find that audience that will improve the quality of their lives. And you can do this. You do this for yourself. You do it for me. Okay, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for me. But do it. Go forward. Keep going forward. Believe in yourselves. I believe in you. We can do this. Together we can go forward. We can succeed. I'm here. I'm on YouTube 6 times a week. I'm here for you. If you want anything, if you need anything, you let me know. I'll do what I can. What you can do for me, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, whatever else that you want to do. We're going forward. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. I'll be again on YouTube tomorrow night, 8:30. I got to remember because 8 o'clock in French, 8:30 in English. And keep courage. Have a great weekend. Here, the sun has come out. It's been raining this morning. It's going to be a miserable week next week, but the sun has come out because we're here together. I've closed the window because Howard's not be able to hear me very well. Thanks for the feedback, Howard. Really appreciate that. And go well. Trust in yourselves. I trust in you. And everything's going to be great. Bye for now.